Hey everybody, it's Betsy from Story Drawing Skills. As you may know, I saw this video called You Should Make a Webcomic by Super Death Show, and it made me decide that I needed to make a webcomic. So I decided to make 100 panels of webcomic from scratch in 6 months from July to December 2017. Yeah, I failed. So now I'm persevering and I'm just altering my goal a little bit to finish a webcomic. Maybe not in 6 months, but how about while I'm working 2 jobs and by the end of the year? This vlog episode is a super important one because we're halfway done! Yay! I did make a little mistake. I said 53% done. I thought I was drawing all the way up to 53, panel 53. But it turns out no. This ends on panel 52. But that's okay because we're still over halfway. I'm still happy about that. And we're just going to keep on drawing. So you can see I have a really sketchy sketch in red that has been faded out to a light pink at this point. And I'm drawing on a new layer with blue so that I can refine my images, my composition. I'm changing the angle on some of these boxes, possibly putting some hands reaching into the boxes because I'm trying to explain that all of the mages who are present here today are each going to pick a number, and there's 3 sets of numbers, and a team is formed when you find all 3 people that have the same number. So this guy here though is not very enthusiastic about it. He does this every day and just wants some lunch, so he's going to be kind of just chilling out there. And then here's the hands of Clarice and Kess as they pull what was originally going to be number 36 because that was my age when this started, but it's no longer my age, so I'll probably turn it to 37 just for kicks. Couldn't even remember what Kess looked like, so make sure you know where your model sheets are, where your concept and reference files are, because it's a pain just stopping your flow because you're not sure which way her hair went or, you know, fussy little details like that. It will make a difference. Organize your files. Now on to another layer with black pencil. Some might wonder, why don't I use the pen tool for a crisper line? And my feeling is that because speed is more important to me at this point than quality, I'm going to sacrifice those super clean, refined lines for a second and just do my pencil sketchiness so that I can just be a little looser with my lines and I don't have to be quite as precise as clean lines, because you know how it gets when, especially when you're digitally inking, that, you know, you try to draw that perfect line because you've got, you know, the highest set of correction that your computer can handle, and you're trying to get that super smooth line, and you're just like line, undo, line, undo, line, undo, line, and it seems more like just a roll of the dice, like random whether or not this line is going to come out right. So instead of spending all that time on some lines that really aren't showing the audience anything super important, I'm just going to stick with my sketchy style, get this thing out and done, and all those things. So drawing all the sheets of paper that have the numbers. I didn't like how cluttered it was over there, so I adjusted the papers there, added some more on top. And there's a special note that whoever gets the star is going to be the leader, and we know because of previous pages that Sakura must have gotten the star because she's acting as leader, and Kess and Clarice are just kind of following because they have to. Had a lot of fun just drawing him totally apathetic and uncaring about the teams that are formed here. So I tried to make his cloak kind of pool and billow out at the bottom there, so it just had a sense of like weight and tiredness and just like, can we go home yet? Had some trouble drawing these hands, so I just want to remind everybody, hands are hard. Like, I've been drawing hands for more than 20 years now. It's still hard. Like, don't even beat yourself up about it. If you can't draw perfect hands yet, join the club, because none of us can draw perfect hands all the time. You just keep working at it until it gets to the point where it looks like a hand and not a tentacle. Like that would be your first goal right there. Even those eyes gave me some trouble, and Kess also. I'm pretty sure That's not how I used to draw her, but, you know, whatever. Art's going to change as the artist changes, you know. I'm sure you've all read comic books or manga series or webtoons, especially the long-running ones like, you know, Bleach or Naruto or, you know, any of those that go on for years and years and years and years and years. As the artist gets better, then, or even just more comfortable drawing the characters after having drawn them, you know, a couple hundred times, that they start to change a little bit and the style starts to shift, hopefully for the better. There's only a few artists that I used to follow that I feel like they got, I don't want to say worse, but just the style choices that they started to make, I didn't like as much as their previous ones. And, you know, sometimes it's just not your thing and then you move on. But that's fine. I'm sure new people thought their choices were great. Anyway, back to what I'm doing here. I'm putting in the flats. Generally, I either start with the skin tone or whatever color is going to be most used. Like, there's a lot of green on that robe, so might as well fill that whole thing in with green. I don't know why I made him backlit. That was a poor choice of lighting, because now the interesting part, his face, is all in shadow, and the uninteresting part, the back of his cloak, is all lit up. That's kind of backwards from what it should be, but what else? You learn as you go, and I'm just trying to get this thing done before the end of the year. Even better would be before the end of August, because, big sigh, at the end of August, I'll likely be going back to school, and, you know, that's when fall semester starts. And once you go back to school, I'm sure many of you know, you just don't have the time to draw anymore, because you got to write these dumb papers that you don't even care about, but it's part of your general education, so you have to write them. And you have to get, you know, good grades on them, otherwise you have to do it all over again, and that's even worse. So, knowing that, I will probably have less time to draw come this fall. So it would be nice if I could just use this little month of summer vacation to really pump up and pump out as many panels as I can, except when you work 2 jobs, sometimes a manager at your one job doesn't have enough people to cover your hours. Like right now I'm working, you know, like 37 to 40 hours a week. That's full time, right? And I requested to be put back down to part-time, but we honestly just don't have enough employees right now that are trained to be able to cover my positions. And so I'm stuck, and I have to wait until we get some more people. So that kind of stinks if it's going to take my whole month of vacation just to train some people to cover my hours. But, you know, life is life. It is what it is. You do what you can. I am really trying to focus on making this webcomic my priority, like +1, if you may. I don't know if I've mentioned it before on this vlog, but there's a book called Productivity for Creative People. And I don't remember a whole lot about it because I read it a long time ago. But one thing that has always stayed with me is the fact that you can take every single thing that you need to do in a day or a week or a month or a year, and you can break it into 4 categories. Number 1 being ongoing. This is exactly what it sounds like. Replying to emails, laundry, feeding your dog, going to the gym, cooking dinner, like whatever it is that you have to do on a regular basis. This is an ongoing thing, and you should probably plan the time that you need for that. Then you've got your events, things like, oh, you're going to have a table at a convention and you want to have your comic ready for that convention. Okay, well then you're preparing for something that happens, you know, once a year. If it happens like more than twice a year, you could almost call it ongoing, but I tend to think that if it only happens once a year, then yeah, that's just an event like a birthday. And then there's backlogging, which is like alphabetizing your drawing books, or, you know, like arranging your drawing pencils and erasers and organizing your files so you can find your files more quickly and easily. Like anything that streamlines your workflow, that's backlogging. And then the last one, the 4th one, is asset building, and that's basically what this webcomic is. I'm making something so that when it's done, I can say, hey people, look, I made this. I can make a comic, and it becomes an asset that you can use later in life. So other assets might be, you know, you wrote a novel, or I don't know, you made a student film, or you were intern at some office building, like whatever. It's something that just kind of like proves your skills, or, you know, just as a result of your effort, I should say. Because even if you like self-publish a book of poems or something, like just because you had to self-publish it doesn't mean that, you know, it's not a great accomplishment. I mean, I guess getting published by a bigger author would be better, but, you know, what I'm trying to say is whatever you get done, that's an asset because you made it, and now you have proof that you can make stuff, and that's pretty awesome. So that's what this webcomic is. It's proof that I can finish something, and I can make something, and I can, and I will, but it's just a little bit slow going. Anyway, of those 4 things, here's the tricky part, people. You got your 4 things, your ongoing, your events, your backlogging, and your asset building. You get to do ongoing things because you have to, and one other thing. That's it. So right now, for me, it's ongoing things and this comic. That's pretty much it. And, yeah, if you could see the state of my messy room right now, you can tell that I'm not keeping up even on my ongoing things sometimes, because I really just want to get this comic done, get it finished, be happy about it, and all my hard work as I sacrificed, you know, time with friends or time playing video games or watching TV to make this comic a reality. Look at that. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. I should self-publish that one. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Hope this was, I don't know, helpful in some way, or at least a nice little update to what I've been doing and how my comic is coming along. And I hope you guys are just as excited as I am that we are halfway done. Yes, over halfway done. I feel like the rest of this is going to be just like downhill easiness. Maybe not easy, but not as bad as it was to get to this point. So yeah, there's a look at the finished panels up to panel 52. Look at those no background panels. Don't even care anymore. Just like, get this thing done. Tell the story. Tell the story, get it done. And with those words, I guess this is it.